Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Jed McKay, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Upcoming Avengers writer Jed McKay.
Yes.
Current Moon Knight writer.
Yes.
Been
I'll be
writing.
talking to him soon on the last episode of Tomes of Evil, actually.
Oh, nice!
He'll be a special guest on Tomes of Evil.
All right, kid. Ask him if he wants to do an Alpha Flight podcast.
Yes.
Even for one episode, tell him
Yeah.
do it right here if he wants to do one episode of Alpha
Absolutely.
Flight. But we're not doing that this week, kids. That's right. We're back on Marvel Tales with part 3 of Avengers: The Crossing. This week and next week, kids. All right, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, the most patient of co-hosts. It is
Justin the Owl. I don't know about patient. I think I made a bad decision choosing this story.
I think we co-signed this one, and we're just like, we can do it.
Yeah. I actually forgot how many parts this was, to be honest with you.
I mean,
thought
at
it
least
was only like 12, but
no.
oh.
Well, at least the 4 episodes, kids. I mean, we recorded the first 2, and then we're gonna record this episode, the next one tonight. So it's not like we like literally sat through a month and recorded.
Yes, yeah, that would have been too painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, there we go.
That's no silent scream. That's a loud ass.
Yeah. Yes. You need
The
a loud
crossing
one for
continues.
The crossing.
The crossing continues, kids.
Not again.
All right. So should we pick up? Because yes,
we have a lot to unpack in these last two episodes here. Ooh.
The crappening, as Justin calls it.
The crappening.
All right. So yes, this one starts with War Machine number 21. Which is kind of interesting because I mean we'll get to this, if not this episode, next episode, but it's like all of a sudden Rhodey just like disappears from this crossover.
Yeah. It takes a wild pivot all of a sudden.
And I was also thinking today, I mean, speaking of characters disappearing, it's like where's Deathcry? We had her in the first couple parts, but where's Deathcry?
Deathcry and the Swordsman and like,
well, the
what
Swordsman
were they doing?
The Swordsman kind of reappears, but it's like, Deathcry just kind of seems to like disappear. No explanation.
Yeah.
Don't you think this would be an all hands on deck situation?
Absolutely. This is like one of their darkest moments. You think they would need everyone, and who better to step up to the fore than a Shi'ar warrior? You would think, right?
And plus, someone who probably pretty much has no connection with Tony Stark,
right?
And won't let sentiment get in the way. You know,
absolutely. She could have gotten right in there with those claws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's not going to be like, he was my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't care who Tony Stark is. He just murdered somebody in their home.
A couple somebodies.
Yeah, a couple of people, actually. Yeah.
I forget if it's this episode or the next. I read a large chunk of these at once, but someone else is getting killed too. So
yes. Yep. I actually hadn't read that one before, so that was a first time reading for me, that issue.
Yeah, some of these I hadn't read either.
It's mostly these War Machine and Force Works issues that
yeah. Which we get the War Machine 21 opens with Rhodey having a nightmare fighting Tony Stark.
Probably a recurring nightmare, I would imagine, at this point in his life.
Oh yeah, probably. Then he wakes up, Hawkeye and US Agent are still asleep because they're all hiding out, but they've been joined by Black Widow. who, because of this art, seems to have a little extra junk in the trunk, I think.
Yeah, wow. She is filling out that suit.
I know.
There must be unstable molecules going on there.
But again, we're and again, we're still like it's like we have to figure out what's going on, because it's like Hawkeye's not the killer, but it's equally as unreasonable that Tony Stark framed him or is the killer.
Yeah. Yeah, I still can't get over that they believed that Hawkeye was the killer. That he murdered Yellow Jacket and Marilla with his incendiary arrows.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous.
And then Rhodey shows her that horrible looking armor.
Yeah. You know, this armor kind of grew on me a little bit over the course of reading these last few issues, but only when they don't do the close-up on the face.
Yeah.
When they do the weird close-up on the face, and then you get like this weird kind of like jaw underneath.
And I think it's one of those suits that's very stylized to the point where it's like certain artists can make it look good, but not every artist can make it look good.
Right. Like the artist who designed it can draw it really well, and maybe one other, but that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's super stylized.
Then we get like these cyborg warriors showing up.
Yeah, including Death Hunt.
Death Hunt, yes.
But it's only one H, so it's Death Hunt.
Yes, kids, no C in there. Oh my god! And then like this, I don't know if you have this open, but that panel of Hawkeye waking up, man, he looks like Thor, like he's built like Thor in this.
Absolutely. I was like, wow, Clint, what have you been holding back all these years?
Seriously, I mean, look at them thighs, look at them arms.
I mean, yeah, he does. It looks like Thor got a haircut and put on Hawkeye's outfit. There is some good action in this issue.
Yeah, I think there's a couple pencilers here, because then the next page, U.S. Agent don't look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a couple of pencilers here, yeah, and they're very different. There's a good section where Black Widow gets to kind of let loose on these guys.
Oh yeah, it is a couple different artists, because Black Widow has slimmed down later on as they get attacked by the cyborgs.
Yeah.
Now that is where that armor's looking freaky, man. Right there.
Yes.
Almost looks
totally.
Looks like a rejected design for like Ghost Rider 2099 there.
Yeah. Very much so. It looks like it would look better if it was like maybe a supporting character in War Machine that got the armor.
Maybe
somebody other than Jim Rhodes, because it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right for him.
Again, it just seems like the artist. It's like some artists can get it. Other artists, it looks like almost look like Jim's just wearing like head to toe like a black bodysuit with like metal like glued to it or something.
Yeah, exactly. Other times it looks like almost like an Iron Man version of the Venom suit.
Which I get, it's an alien, but it's like, yeah, that's when you don't go too stylized, because it's like, I mean, look at that black costume, Spider-Man or Venom wore. It's pretty much, white spider on the front, something on the palms of the hand. That's it.
Yeah, it was very simple, but it was effective. Yeah. Yeah, this armor's all over the place. A little bit of red here, a little bit of green here, black and silver there. All over the place.
But yeah, this is so weird, because so most of the rest of this like issue is like a fight with the cyborgs. But it's like they mentioned the Conqueror, so yeah, they are affiliated with the main big bad in this series, but it's just like they just come out of nowhere.
Yeah. And what was their purpose for even doing any of this stuff?
I mean, I guess they're like, oh, hey, there's a bunch of the Avengers or Force Works or whoever just off on their own. Hey, we can easily like kill them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Too bad they hadn't counted on that alien armor showing up.
Exactly.
Throwing a monkey wrench into their carefully laid plans.
Mm. So yeah, after they defeat these after they defeat the cyborgs and they kind of retreat. Rhodey picks up Black Widow and takes off.
Just flies off with her.
And then we get more stuff with like Rhodey supporting cast, but
yeah, it's all extraneous stuff.
But yeah, as U.S. Agent, Rhodey, and Black Widow are picking themselves up. Hawkeye steals like the Quinjet and takes off.
Steals the ship. Yeah. Oh, Clint, you idiot! He says,
and heads right for Iron Man 323.
Yes, collision course.
Uh,
Oh man.
So, any thoughts on this War Machine issue before we get the Hawkeye's next stop?
Well, it was kind of pointless, wasn't it? I mean,
it is the 90s. It's punch 'em up. Again, it's a big crossover, so I don't know if we were just killing time or.
I think that's what they were doing. They're padding this story a little bit, trying to throw some new villains in there too.
Because again, except for like the head cyborg mentioning the Conqueror, it's pretty much. This has not. And again, it's characters from the story because we're on the run, but it's pretty much except for that, nothing to do with this crossover.
Yeah,
I think it was basically, hey, let's try to pump up some numbers on War Machine.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and let's show what this new armor can do a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so next one is Iron Man 323. Cover lets you know exactly where Hawkeye's going.
Hawkeye's revenge.
Because we opened up with Iron Man stopping a hijacking of a senator of Senator Oakfield on his yacht, his wife and the crew.
Oh.
But then all of a sudden, Hawkeye just comes in screaming in on that, standing on top of the Quinjet, firing arrows at Iron Man.
Yes. And foaming at the mouth because he's so angry.
And he, basically just like, Stark, you and me right now.
Ah!
And I love Iron Man just stands there and takes every arrow Hawkeye's got. He's like,
all of it.
Yeah, I think he literally even thinks he's like, it doesn't even deserve flinching.
Laser arrow, sonic, freeze. His anger rains down on me from his bow. Acid, glue, taser, gas.
Don't you just hate those Don't you just hate those angry glue arrows?
I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels. So.
Paste pot Pete.
Oh. Yeah. Nothing. Tasers, nothing. And then Iron Man basically knocks the Quinjet out from under him.
Yeah.
But Hawkeye does a like Captain America roll onto the ship, which he, Iron Man even says like, "Oh, Captain America learned move."
And in the course of 5 panels, they're shaking hands again.
Exactly. It's like, hey, how about we get to the bottom of this? Oh, okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But
Great idea.
But this one panel here where he's Hawkeye standing there face to face with Iron Man. He's looking kind of Thorish here too.
Yeah. Yeah, they were really buffing him out then, weren't they?
Oh, yeah,
I do like that costume though. I like that Hawkeye's costume in this.
Yeah, I do like that. It is a nice. It's like it's a nice in between of like the the classic purple one and like what we get currently. Like
right. Yeah,
it was a nice movie one. Yeah.
Yeah, like a transition. It reminded me a little bit of in Teen Titans when Speedy went to Arsenal, I think.
Yeah.
And he had that he made that costume for a while. It reminded me a little bit of that one, which I liked as well.
And that first one, I think they even made like a purple or something. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, we're going there, huh?
Yeah. But I like this. Yeah, I like this Hawkeye costume. But yeah, they were making him look huge, like on Hercules or Thor level with those arms. It was like, wow. Well, it makes sense. He would have muscular arms. You know, archers need to have arms like that, as we saw from Arrow.
I know, but they're about as wide as his head. And the
Well,
legs
you
are
know, this is right after Mockingbird's death. Maybe he was, pumping a lot of iron to get over the.
Oh, iron. Okay.
I wonder if my
Yeah.
wrist is ready for that.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, in the Arctic, Machine Smith is still there with Marianne Rogers and Mask.
Hanging out of the Arctic bunker.
I mean, was Stark afraid they were going to run to the Avengers or something? I'm like, why didn't he just dump them in the Arctic?
Yeah, it's so weird. And what are they eating up there? Like, does he have a big bunker full of Twinkies or something up there?
I mean, it is a rich man. I'm sure he has a stock pantry, but
yeah.
And in this by this crossover, I'm assuming he's just like, oh, I might have to hole up here for a while. So,
yeah, he's probably got this big, lavish doomsday bunker up there filled with all this exotic food,
like giraffe burgers and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Rhino horns for days.
Whoa!
Well, it's Tony Stark. Yeah,
that's true. I think it gives him extra virility or something. But then when Machine Smith walks out of the room, Mask unmasks herself, and it appears to be Bethany Cape. Spoilers, it's not, because we see her several times in this crossover, like switching faces. So.
Yeah.
Another thing Kurt Busiek has to clean up when he
I know,
starts the Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor guy had his work cut out for him right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. So much from this crossover he had to clean up.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But yeah, Machine Smith's talking to Tony, and he's like, "Yeah, you're good. I guess we're getting antsy. They're being good. They're getting antsy." And yeah, Tony says, "Yeah, I have business to attend to. Then I'll be up there. I want them looked after. No harm must come to them, either of them. I don't have to remind you that if they get out of the bunker, exposure will kill them in minutes." I was like, is he genuinely being cautious for their safety, or is that his subtle way of saying, oh, if they die,
You might want to leave the door unlocked, just
just like Yellow Jack and Marilla accidentally walked in his Repulsar blast.
Exactly. Yeah, he was just cleaning it, and it just happened to go off when they were walking by.
He's cleaning it. Yeah, it does have a hair. It does have a hair trigger.
I wonder if he's ready for
that. Yeah. So yeah, because him and Hawkeye are going to that Southampton mansion of Janet Van Dyne's.
Yeah, and I noticed Janet also throughout this whole crossover isn't wearing a wasp costume at all. Like, she's just wearing regular clothes throughout all this stuff. Even in the Avengers issue, she's not wearing a wasp costume. What's going on here?
I know, it's very weird. It's like she's not wearing one of her 50 costumes.
Yeah. Another thing that's strange about this.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, everyone's like, Hawkeye's back, and Janet's like, I can't believe Stark's back after he bankrupted me.
Yeah.
Here's Death Cry, but I don't know how long she sticks around though.
Yeah. Yeah, they pretty much just delegate her to being Luna's nanny after Marilla gets murdered.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Pretty much the most we see of her, she's hanging out with Luna.
I love Hank Pym as Giant Man, just tossing Hawkeye.
Yeah. I do enjoy Hank Pym being part of the Avengers at this point in time as Giant Man. That's great.
And once again, we've kind of just like forgotten that. Remember what was it, part 1 or part 2? He seemed like he was having like trouble like with his size changing power. It seemed like he was in physical pain or something.
Yeah, there were some weird side effects, and one issue he was supposed to have been dead. Like Tony was supposed to have killed him in one issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, none of that happened.
Yes. So after Tony hangs up with Machine Smith, he starts getting suspicious, and he seems to be taken down by Marianne Rogers, but it's really Mask who took her appearance, and the real Marianne got tased. So Mask seems to leave the bunker
out into the wilderness.
Exactly.
This is another issue where we have 2 pencilers. Isn't it? They switch back and forth, I think.
I think so, yeah. Just what it needs, alternating artists.
Yes.
That's what I was talking to Lilith about this morning. I said it's one thing. I don't know what's worse, like a crappy story with like crappy art, or like multiple changing artists that take you out of it.
Yeah.
Or like a bad story with like a very good art, and it's like, damn it, I don't want to read this, but it looks so good.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, at least if you have
some of the art's good. I mean, that's the thing. Some of it's pretty good, but some of it's just about average.
Oh yeah, because these couple pages here where they're like sitting around in the mansion, and Hawkeye's like holding Luna there, and it's like Hawkeye looks like he has regular size proportions all of a sudden.
Right.
And so yeah,
and the Swordsman looks good. Like the Vision looks good. All of those characters look good.
Although some of those artists, I think that was just like the 90s effect. They always like tried to jack everyone up.
That's true, yeah. Everyone was extremely buff in the 90s and had ponytails.
Or a mullet.
Or a mullet, yeah.
So yeah, they're all sitting around the swordsman is talking about the Kotati swordsman.
Which we saw in the Avengers issue.
And we'll get back to.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's right. I wanted to tell you for Salty and Petty, me and Lilith were recording Salty and Petty episode 17 today. Our picks for worst comic books.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch, but
worst comic books ever.
Yes, I did mention the crossing in there.
Nice.
But we were sharing like script, like shots of the covers and stuff on the screen.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
yeah,
I was looking for like I found a picture of the crossing #1 on the and I found it online.
Yeah,
because someone else must have been doing a review. I don't know if it's like a website or a podcast or whatever. But they must cover a lot of 90s stuff, I'm thinking, because you know what the name of it was?
What's that?
All I saw was Avengers The Crossing review by the Pouch Fouls.
Oh.
I'm like, oh my God, it must be like a 90s podcast. Pouch Fouls.
That's fantastic.
So I'll give you guys a shout out again. The Pouch Fouls. Oh my Lord.
Oh my God, I love it. That's great. I love that.
I thought that was clever.
Yes, that's very clever. We even see several pouches in this issue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hawkeye has several. The Swordsman has a few. Mask has some.
But they're trying to figure out what happened the night of the murders, and they're like, oh, we could stick this helmet on Luna's head, that projects memories and stuff. And Crystal's like, I don't want my daughter subjected to that. And Tony's like, here, I was there all day. You could do it to me.
Yeah.
Which they do, and they see, basically nothing. Him hanging out with the Beast and Scarlet Witch and the card game, talking to Black Widow, nothing.
Yeah.
Then we see Mask trudging through the Arctic.
She's on a mission. She's
Almost
not going to be stopped.
Almost as if she's not completely human.
Yes, imagine that.
But I guess then they do decide to put the helmet on Luna, which we see, a bunch of cute little memories. But then, yes, we see, She did witness the murder of Yellow Jacket by, yes, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. Yeah.
But they're like, yes, we've seen enough, haven't we, Stark? And he's like, I never meant for this to happen, for you to know what that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. I'm sorry. Now you must all die.
You must all die.
Finish him.
Oh.
And then at the end, the last page, we see Mantis basically standing there all smug. That's quite an outfit.
Yes, they really made her look quite sexola in this time, weren't they?
Yeah, because basically the whole middle was cut out. I mean, you see their whole stomach and
some midriff bearing going on here.
You basically see her whole torso, except I mean, basically the outfit covers side boob pretty much.
Oh yes, this would have had people clutching their pearls 100 years ago.
Oh yeah. Well, at least her ankle's covered.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But that's one of the things like another thing people bitch about this story, where it's like, in the first couple parts we saw, it seemed like Tony was blacking out, and when he was doing stuff, he had no memory of it. But now when they confront him with it, he's like, "Oh, I didn't want Jins to find this out." Like he knows.
Yeah. I didn't want any of this to happen. Now you all must die.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's really sounds like a man that's being manipulated.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much he had blackouts, but now no, it's basically just like, okay, you found me out, I gotta kill you now.
Yeah, and there was no real lead up to that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other issues before this. Ugh.
I just wonder. I had this thought today. It's like, how we were saying maybe they were like they changed course for some reason. I'm
Like
wondering if
halfway through.
when they started this, if they were just like, oh yeah, Tony Stark has to have no like memory of what he's doing. He has to be like fully under someone's control. But then I wonder if like partway through plotting out this thing, they were just like, they found out Heroes Reborn was coming, and they're just like, well, it doesn't matter what we do, it's going to get rebooted anyway, so hey, let's just make Tony Stark a full-on killer.
Yeah, it does.
And bring in a teen Iron Man, because that's going to get wiped in 6 months anyway.
Yeah, if we ever found out, like, behind the scenes when it was that Heroes Reborn was decided upon, I think that would answer that question.
Not that I want to prolong our suffering, but I wonder if Terry Kavanaugh would ever be willing to like talk about this.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Or who else was in it? Bob Harris. I wonder if I wonder if they'd be willing to talk about this.
Or Dan Abnett. He did a lot of the writing on the ForceWorks stuff.
Yeah. Because I have a lot of questions, starting with why?
Why? That'd be the first and foremost question. Why?
My second, how?
Yeah.
As in, how dare you?
They killed Iron Man.
I mean, it's pretty much a slap in the face to like Iron Man fans, because you're basically, I mean, we're gonna get there, but it's basically just like, oh yeah, he's been a sleeper agent for how long, and he's
yeah. And also, like, we'll get to that, I think, in this issue or the one after, but they even talk about some Hank Pym stuff in the past.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna get that towards the end of
And that was a slap in the face.
Oh yeah.
It's like, geez. No.
All right, so the next one is Avengers 393, which one, the cover kind of gives away something that's going to happen here.
Yeah. One of the worst developments of this whole story, in my opinion.
Man, look at them veiny arms on Pym.
He's a biscuit in this story. He is.
And Janet's lung capacity,
Yeah.
On that cover.
With those 90s jeans buttoned up to her waist.
I know, but I'm just saying, man, that chest looks like some 90s Jim Fallon Catwoman almost. Holy.
Absolutely, yes. She's definitely got to be in severe back pain.
Oh, yeah. And again, kids, I mean, they were really they were really pandering to the horny teenage boy of the 90s here and some of this art.
Absolutely. Even Mantis, like you were saying, with the midriff bearing out
To say,
costume card.
page 1, Mantis.
Yeah.
She's thinking about how he's late again. I guess basically her man, and yes, for those of you who didn't get the 20 Conqueror references, yes, it is Kang.
Kang.
Supposedly.
Yes, was it really Kang?
I did my homework, and when Kurt Busiek tried to retcon this in Avengers Forever, it was basically, it wasn't Kang, but it was, I have no idea why, Immortus trying to impersonating his younger self, which is Kang. So technically it was Kang, but it was an older version. It was Immortus.
Yes.
And then what was it? Mantis, her kids. I think they even said Tuck and Teenage Luna were all Space Phantoms.
Space Phantoms. Yeah, that's what I put under my name there, Space Phantom porn.
Yes. Oh my.
Because that's basically what this story is.
I know.
Space Phantom porn.
Space Phantom porn. So
I wonder if my wrist is ready for that.
Yeah. So Immortus decided to have sex with some space phantoms and father some kids with them that were also space phantoms.
Don't kink shame him. Hey. Don't kink shame. You know. If you had a chance with a shapeshifter who could look like Rick Cosnett, don't look down your nose.
Absolutely.
Mister.
I definitely would not. Yeah, no. Even if that was a Skrull, I'd be like, yeah, I've got no problems with that. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we'll get you a green card and everything. Don't worry about it.
Hell, I mean, if Elijah had taken that tack with Johnny Storm, be like, I hate you, you're a Skrull. I can look like anyone. Wait, what?
Really? Okay. Let's get married. I can think of a lot of options here.
So yes, it was a whole whole family of space phantoms.
Our whole family can suck it.
No, and I think I was reading my homework online. I didn't reread the Avengers Forever, but I guess it's like Immortus's plan was like trying to distract the Avengers so they didn't see Onslaught coming or something. I don't know.
Okay. I gotta reread Avengers Forever.
Because supposedly the future where they do die from Onslaught basically is the future where humanity conquers the universe or something, or he conquers the universe, something.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember there was another timeline where everybody died, and I gotta reread that.
So basically, he wanted them to die in Onslaught, and this was supposed to keep them from seeing that coming. But then we see everyone attacking Iron Man.
Yes, the whole team is piling on, except for Deathcry, which you mentioned before. She's conspicuously absent. Right?
Yeah, wasn't she just here?
Yeah, she was literally just in the last issue. Gone. Yeah.
Yep. And I know he's been depowered and stuff, but I mean, Tony Stark literally takes a shot to the head from Hercules without his helmet on.
Without his helmet, and I'm sure that Hercules was pulling his punch a little bit, but he would have known enough to knock out Tony Stark with his helmet off.
But I mean, even if he's like a normal guy, I mean, a guy that size hits you hard enough in the head, I mean, you're gonna get staggered at least. You're gonna hit the ground and be like woozy for a couple seconds.
Yeah, that should have. Instead, he punches him right back immediately, and then charges up his repulsors for a lethal blast.
And as he's about to shoot Hercules, Janet gets in the way, and
that was dumb. It's like, why? First of all, I mean, how is it that Tony has repulsors that are capable of killing Hercules?
Oh, I mean, again, he's been depowered and stuff. I don't know. Who says it would have killed him? Maybe it just would have like knocked him out or something. Maybe, I don't know. But and again, how much damage could it have done to Hercules? Because I mean, she's about to die, but it doesn't kill Janet instantly.
Right. Yeah, it does wound her, but still, also, instead of jumping in front of that blast, couldn't she have, like, used her wasp sting to, like, blast him in the face or something with his helmet off instead of
Yeah, that's another weird thing. It's like, do we actually see her shrink or use any powers in this whole thing
Yeah,
since the beginning?
it's so weird. She's not in her wasp costume, she's not using her powers at all. I don't know what they were doing with her. All she does is just complain about how Tony Stark wiped out her money,
Exactly.
and that's it.
So yeah, so he injures the wasp, and then yeah, Hank goes nuts. Basically grows through the roof, grabs Stark, and it looks like he's about to crush him.
Yeah. Uh,
And like Hercules and everyone's like talking him down, like, no, don't kill him. And I'm like, I don't know. First, I was like, wait, why not? I'm like, he's already killed Morel. He's killed like 2 people already. He's may have killed Janet at this point, but it's
for
like,
all they know, she might be dead. Yeah.
but I guess maybe we're still under the assumption where it's like, oh, maybe Tony's been mind controlled or something, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe he isn't responsible for his actions, but
Yeah.
so yeah, Hank lets him go. But yes, Magic Kang portal opens up and helps Tony escape.
Yeah. No death cry anywhere to be seen.
No. We kind of get that scene from the cover of Hank holding Jan.
Mhm.
She's not
Yeah.
looking as busty here, but Crystal is.
Yes. Yes, she has filled out that new costume quite well.
Yeah. There's only 1 or 2 spots on that body that have an ounce of fat, kids. Let me can you guess where?
She's been visiting some LA doctors in her spare time.
Oh man, they got some good plastic surgeon on the blue area of the moon, huh? Instead of yeah, got some moon rock injections, kids. So yeah, so Hank's basically trying to save Jan's life, and
He's got her in his lab and all this mechanical apparatus. And Tuck has appeared
yep,
to Crystal and Quicksilver, telling them that they should give Luna to him because he'll
Yeah.
be able to keep her safe.
This is so weird when you think of the red. I mean, again, it's a retcon years later, but it's like a space phantom's like, here, give me your kid, let me keep her safe.
Ugh. Stranger danger.
Exactly. But yeah, so Hank's examining Jan and trying to save her life, but then this like cocoon forms around her as he's trying to. Because it's so weird. He was, I guess, to save her life, he was trying to redo the process that gave her wasp powers. But I'm just like,
Yeah, from a few years ago, since that went so well the first time.
I'm like, how does this make sense?
Yeah.
Did she lose her powers? I'm like, why are we doing this again?
Yeah. Yeah. She's going to be extra wasp this time.
Oh yeah,
Ultra wasp.
that sounds fine. So they get an alarm, something's approaching, and yeah, Vision's like, "We'll all secure the area," and tells Hank to keep an eye on Janet.
Oh, this is hilarious. This is one of the funniest parts of the whole issue when this plane crashes. And
Oh
then
yeah,
just randomly, just out of nowhere, this plane all of a sudden crashes and Mask walks out of the wreckage.
oh yeah, doing the 80s 90s action, but he just walks out of the fire.
Yes. Yeah.
Just walks out of the burning plane.
Yeah. Not even singed, not a scratch on her.
Almost as if she wasn't fully human.
She is clearly a woman accustomed to getting people's attention. Yeah, you could say that.
Well, yeah, another plastic surgery.
Yes, another LA doctor that's made good money off of her bankroll.
Lots of plastic surgery here, but that's not the only reason I'm saying she's artificial.
Yeah, it's not all plastic. There's some silicone as well.
Oh, well, nice. But she says, we have to stop Tony Stark, and we have to stop him now.
Yeah.
Just wait for the
You
event.
think?
Oh, shit, lady.
Yeah. You see what he just did to this house and the wasp? Like,
He's killed 2
yeah.
people. We just attempted murder on a 3rd. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks for telling us we have to stop Tony Stark.
Yeah, you're going to tell us the sky's blue next while you're at it?
All right. So next we get to Force Works 19.
Mm.
All right.
Another issue where things escalate quickly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that escalated quickly.
If there's one theme for this whole event, it's
Well, that escalated quickly.
It's the truth. Yeah.
either that or this whole event is just a
Giant-sized man thing.
Oversized. Oversized man thing.
and not in
This
a good way.
is- yeah.
Not in a good way.
This is the type of man thing where if you get excited, then you start to get a little woozy in the head and can't stand up. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Enough about the little next birthday present. Never mind. Never you mind. What were we talking about? Was it Spider-Man yesterday or something? We were talking about a villain looking for a young, powerful body. Oh yeah. A villain talking about needing a young, powerful body. I'm like, it sounds like Lilith. She's like, am I the villain?
My favorite biscuit.
Talking about meat is so natural for Lilith.
Amen. All right. So, oh my lord. All right. So, Force Works 19 and Mantis's costume continues to get smaller.
Yes. That cleavage is getting more and more exposed by the moment.
Well, and her legs are completely bare now. Before, at least, I think she was wearing pants or something.
Yeah, she
now,
had some type of leggings on before, but
now it's just basically a skirt that goes between her legs. That's it.
yeah. Well, maybe it gets hot in that temple where she's hanging out.
Oh yeah, then we see Tony Stark with a small smoking repulsor.
Looking very despondent.
Yes, at this other place Citadel, it says.
Yeah, he's been whisked away to Kang and Mantis's little Chrono Kingdom.
And he doesn't seem surprised to see Kang all of a sudden. It's basically like, oh yeah, I'm working with Kang,
Yeah, he's just like, Kang, Mantis, and then
I know.
that's it, basically.
Yeah, because he's standing here basically saying, this is sudden. You said we'd have years before, and it's
Yeah.
and again, in the retcon, it must be some kind of hypnosis or mind control. But again, it's just like he went from not knowing what was going on to
in the previous issue of Force Works, like there was no any of this stuff. There was no lead up to that whatsoever.
it seemed like he was having blackouts, and all of a sudden he seems fully in on the plan.
Yeah. Even in the regular Iron Man title, there were no lead ups to this. There were no blackouts. There were no weird like flashbacks or blips or anything like that. It was so strange.
And remember him crying every 2 seconds and thinking about his mother? I mean, we've dropped the mother.
Yeah. Yeah, the mother thing's completely gone. Yeah, I wonder if you are right about the Heroes Reborn thing. Like halfway through this, they decided that they were going to do that. And then they were like, well, what are we going to do with Tony? Well, about that.
We could do a teen Iron Man because we only got 6 months left anyway.
They'll love it, honest.
So the kids will love it. Who's reading it? Teenagers. Man, teenagers love reading about a teen Iron Man. Yeah.
Teen Iron Man. They'll love it.
They can't. They can't. Yeah, they can't relate to a billionaire industrialist. No, let's make him a teen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get the kids rated Iron Man again.
But then he's saying, and Kang basically saying, it's your strength that made me select you all those years ago and stuff. And so now we're saying, oh yeah, he's been Kang's little puppet for years now. It's like,
Yeah. And how long is this decades? Is this just a few years? Like, yeah.
and again, I mean, I think they were hinting, and like I saw somewhere on the internet where they're saying Kang was basically, I mean, we're gonna get here, kids, but Kang was basically saying every nervous breakdown Hank Pym had was because of Kang trying to influence him.
Yeah.
And I
He
think
was the first choice, I think, for
and
Kang.
the first one I can think of is like when he first became Yellow Jacket, and that was like Avengers 59 or 60.
Yeah, that's going back
So
a ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like Avengers 394 here, or 393, and if we were going back all the way to 60,
Yeah. That's
and they never call it out, but I'm just like, were they with this story? Were they trying to say, "Oh yeah, Tony Stark, you became an alcoholic because Kang was trying like messing with your head"? Is that what they were going to go with?
it's almost like that they kind of wanted to say that, but then at the last minute they're like, we better not because we probably get some real bad hate mail for that.
Yeah, because I don't think they didn't call it out either. But I was waiting for them to say, "Oh yeah, you hit Jan because
Yes, that too. Yeah, and you almost tried to blow your own brains out in the
yeah."
Avengers compound, like when Hank almost did that in the 80s.
But that's always a slippery slope too, because it's like instead of like character growth and like having these people overcome these very personal issues, it's basically like, oh yeah, you were being mind manipulated.
Yeah,
That's why you did any of it.
that's one of the things I hated the most about it is because it took all of that personal, like you said, the personal growth and the development as a character that took place as a result of some of those actions. It completely just erased all of that, and it made it completely uninteresting and boring. Yeah.
Well, that's the weird thing too, because I guess they were hinting around at this, but I guess when Kurt Busiek revealed it was like all space phantoms and Immortus, I guess they were saying, oh yeah, when he did that retcon, I guess it was. I got to reread that here. Avengers Forever. Well, we're gonna have to do that one day. We'll
We
do,
will.
do the good end of this, but
Yes,
I think
we
he
should
was
do that next year. Yeah.
I think he was saying Immortus kind of took control of Tony Stark like right after Operation Galactic Storm.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a little bit better because that was like
Yeah.
so that
Well,
was like a late 270s to 280 for Iron Man
yeah.
issues. So I mean
That
that's
was
not
only
as
like 2
bad.
or 3 years as opposed to 2 or 3 decades. Yeah.
Well, we can credit the creation of the War Machine armor to Mortis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, his many myriad infinite array of schemes knows no bounds.
Exactly. So Tony says he needs to get back to ForceWorks HQ where we see Spider-Woman's daughter Rachel and that Amanda Cheney again.
Yes. Oh, the
Who-
ill-fated Amanda Cheney.
Yeah, she found that secret sub basement where the systems are based like, oh, it was made in the future.
And I love this part where she goes down to the freezer unit and she wipes open. No, Susie Endo.
So isn't that Cybermancer? But then we see Cybermancer later.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought, isn't Susie Endo Cybermancer?
So is this an imposter pretending to be Susie Endo? I mean, or I mean, as we're plotting this story, are we still maybe working under the impression of like, oh, maybe some heroes have been replaced or something, or
Oh,
maybe Tony Stark got replaced by a Space Phantom or a Skrull or something? But
maybe Susie Endo was a Space Phantom.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they don't explain that. Because Cybermancer showed unless he was just keeping her on ice till he needed her. I don't know.
Maybe that. Well, that's when I first read it. That's what my thought was, that she was just kind of on ice until he needed the help, and then he reactivated her.
But once again, that's like another thing they never explain.
Yeah, that isn't really addressed at all in this. Although I haven't read all these ForceWorks issues, so maybe they do discuss it after the fact.
Yeah. But yes, Amanda Cheney's discovered all this. So yeah, Tony Stark says you're fired. Gives her the old Trump and kills her. You're fired.
Yeah.
And another plot in continuity that I know the internet loves is we see Black Widow still with Rhodey and U.S. Agent, but wasn't she at the beginning of that last Avengers issue? Wasn't she at
She
the mansion with them as Tony's
was.
attacking?
Yes, she was part of that fight. She had since rejoined the team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, she's like, yes, out in the desert with these guys. So,
Maybe that was a scroll.
or a space phantom.
The Space Phantom. They're working both sides.
Oh, it'd be funny. No, it'd be funny. That Black Widow at the mansion was Death Cry with like an image inducer or something.
She was there the whole time. Yeah,
I mean, if you were keeping track of characters, that should have just been Death Cry, you know?
right. It would explain where she was the
Because
whole
I mean,
time.
there wasn't any big moment in that scene where it's like that needed to be Black Widow, so that could have been Death Cry.
Right. Absolutely.
It was suddenly disappeared.
Yeah. She's
Mm,
taking care of Luna the whole time. Yeah, that's what
exactly.
it was. Yeah.
Mhm. Although I think we saw more Luna and then we've seen Death Cry, so
I think you're right.
so Rhodey says he's gonna fly on ahead to Force Works headquarters. Oh, and then remember the Scarlet Witch, Spider Woman, Moonraker, and that other guy are still in Vietnam. So
Andrew Fisher. Yeah, they're all in Vietnam at the temple of the priests of Palma.
and basically, yeah, Moonraker gives Scarlet Witch the explanation of how he is Mantis's father, and
Yeah.
and it's like, well, why does Spider Woman think you guys are in love? And it's basically like the Moonraker of another universe and was part of Force Works and was like Spider Woman's boyfriend. And when he took over this Moonraker's body or that Moonraker's body, it kind of shifted that history. It's
Yeah, and the Moonraker didn't know that Gustav was in his body, like because they had this that kind of that lead up to this in the previous issues where he was having kind of that schism attack where he would just start shouting and going crazy all of a sudden.
yeah, and again too, it's like now we're throwing alternate dimensions into this thing for random
Yeah.
reasons. And again, and the summary I did read, yes, Moonraker is also a space phantom. So
Oh, Moonraker is too. Oh,
yes,
oh man. Poor
yeah,
Spider Woman.
I
God, she got
know.
her heart broken by a space phantom on top of it.
Half the cast are banging space phantoms,
Space phantom porn.
Immortus Kang, Spider Woman,
Iron Man, like he's banging some space phantoms on the side.
Tony Stark's banging everybody.
Oh God, yeah.
Especially now he's full evil, man. He's banging everybody.
Yeah.
He's banging anything with a pulse.
But I bet he especially like that space phantom strange.
Kids, he's just like your mother.
Your mother's a whore.
I was gonna spit there. Yes. Stay tuned for Miller May, kids.
That's right.
We'll do two
Coming
episodes.
soon.
We'll do 2 episodes here, but pretty much anywhere you hear Lilith Hellfire, like We Are the Night, the Batman podcast, Ultimate Spider Cast, our monthly Daredevil show. Yes, you'll hear Lilith Hellfire.
Your mother's a whore.
I love it.
Oh, I can't get enough of that. All right, so
It's the best.
So yeah, we basically just get like a 2-page info dump on Moonraker here, supposedly.
Yeah, and then they uncover this guy with wings all of a sudden in the thicket that just appeared
I
from
am.
nowhere.
I know, it's like, wait, what is this? A guy with wings?
What's going on here?
Too much Red Bull.
Those weren't the kind of wings I wanted, Red Bull.
He's hyper evolved. It's one of the more inhuman parts of Kang's plan. So now he's mutating people, which I don't think we even mentioned before or after this.
Yeah, another hidden facet to Kang's multi-layered plan appears.
I guess.
Mm.
But they find the data log to supply the correct geospatial coordinates.
Yeah. We go back to the ForceWorks base, and the Cybermancer, Susie Endo, I
Yeah,
guess
sure.
he's thawed her out of the capsule or something. Space Phantom has appeared.
That's right.
Maybe that's what it is. Cybermancer's a space phantom, but Susie Endo was real.
Maybe. I have no idea. But then they detect a flare, and because Sentry has returned,
Yes.
and who has no idea what's been going on, so
And is immediately attacked by Cybermancer and Iron Man.
I know he's basically like, no one's here. It's it's only you two. Plato's not answering. He's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But Iron Man's playing the victim. He's like, no. He's like, the Avengers have been turned against me. They're trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And that's when
And-
Rhodey shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he really think he was going to fool Sentry? I mean, come on.
Oh my god. I know it's a years later retcon, but it would have been so funny if in one of those big fight scenes where if Sentry just stopped everyone. It's like half of you are space phantoms.
Yeah. That's another thing. Wouldn't Sentry have known that they were space phantoms?
Like he says to Scarlet Witch and the others, it's just so your old foe is a space phantom? Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, him, her, them
Yeah,
guys,
all of those. Yeah.
half their army as all space phantoms.
Yeah, Sentry could have stopped this whole thing from happening.
But then Rhodey shows up with Rachel. But yeah, Rhodey tells Sentry, Tony Stark is more dangerous than you can imagine.
He's a murderer.
Jim, not you too. You see, Sentry, they've all turned against me.
Yeah.
But then Rachel saying, "Oh yeah, he killed Amanda."
Yeah, they found her body. Yeah.
Yes. But Sentry hits Tony because he's like, "Your repulsor was charged. You would have killed them both." Then Cybermancer attacks Sentry and he fights back. That's when Rhodey tells Sentry to get Rachel out of there. He's like, "Get her to safety."
Yeah.
But that's when Rhodey's like, "Here, stop! You gotta stop before this." I came to help you. It's not too late. And Tony's like, "I don't want your help."
Well, you're gonna get anyway, sucker.
Well, Rhodey says, "Then I'll have to stop you, Tony. Without armor, without a hope in hell, don't make me laugh. Don't count on our friendship to protect you from me." And I'm just here, boom. I won't. He puts that armor on. Again, that face looking kind of skeletal because you see all the teeth and stuff. And
yeah, it's strange. And in some other pictures of this armor, you don't see the teeth at all.
No, you don't see a
any
mouth
of the
at all.
face.
Yeah. I think that's part of the problem for me is anytime you can see a mouth in that suit, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Are we trying to go with space armor Venom here or something?
That was my thought when I was reading this. I thought, I wonder if that was the angle that they were trying to go with this. And in this next issue of War Machine, it's even more over the top with the face stuff.
Oh, yeah, because this was going to be continued in War Machine 22, kids.
Yes, number 22. Which I hadn't read before. I hadn't read this or the ForceWorks issues before. This is the first time for me.
Yeah, me too. Let's see. Pull it up on the app here. That's another thing we'll have to cover, some of those early War Machine issues, when he had the original armor.
Yeah. I would like that. And some of the early Force Works stuff too.
Yeah.
After the tragedy.
Well, we can cover that too. That was issue 1.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, War Machine 22. Oh, yeah, that first page. That's horrendous.
Yeah. I mean, what the hell? What the hell?
I mean,
Why?
I mean, like the black or whatever, gray, whatever that's supposed to be parts of that suit just look like it's like painted on. It's just,
Yeah. It's so strange.
that's what I'm saying. It depends on the artist. This suit can look good or it can look like crap.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, Iron Man and War Machine get into a fight, and yeah, because Tony's all like, "I heard you lost the War Machine armor. I see you found a replacement."
With a bunch of little drone things. See, I actually like the little where he can kind of create those little drone things with the suit. I actually
Yes.
like that angle of it. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. But it's like so linked to that armor. It's like if one of them gets destroyed, he feels the pain of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is also kind of cool. It's a cool drawback to that ability.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just the panels with the face. I just can't. I don't.
Oh yeah, especially like
Looks
when you
so
feel the pain of
weird.
that drone getting destroyed.
Yeah, that one in particular. Yeah, it's just it looks so different than the other portrayals in the issues before this.
Oh yeah, even the other War Machine issues. Yeah.
Because we've read what I think 2 or 3 issues before this,
Mm-hmm.
and all of those issues had featured this armor, but none of them had these facial features.
Yeah, it almost seems like, again, I don't know if it's just different artists or they just haven't like settled on like a final design for this thing. Or they're just like, maybe they're just like, oh, the face isn't expressive enough. Or because I mean, Iron Man, that face doesn't move, but I mean, you have like looks like 2 eye slits and a mouth. So it kind of looks like a full face almost.
Right, right. And with this new War Mech armor, like there's only the eyes,
Yeah.
so you don't have the rest. But still, like you can still do a lot with the eyes, even in a mask like that, as long as you.
Oh, yeah. Do like that Eric Larson Spider-Man stuff where do you make the eyes
Right.
bigger, small, and stuff. And
Exactly.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
alien armor. Those eyes can move.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, these things with the face, it's just so strange looking. I can't get into it.
Yeah. But then, yeah, I mean, most of this is a big punch 'em up with Tony and Rhodey. Oh yeah, Sentry confronts Cybermancer again.
I like that part actually. That fight was cool.
Oh yeah.
Some good action. Big close up of Cybermancer's ass in one of those.
I was gonna say, yeah, there you go, kids.
Right there, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Right there for everybody to see.
I don't know. In that panel, she doesn't seem that guilty to me. I don't know why. I'm willing to hear her out on anything. I want to sit down and have some cake.
It's what's for dinner.
Nope. And I know teenage me, if I would have seen this when it was brand new, would have been like,
I wonder if my wrist is ready.
Yeah. Oh, Susie.
abort. So yeah, Sentry's able to take Cybermancer down. So I'm trying to remember. I think this is pretty much the last time we see her, at least in this, right? In the
I think
crossing.
so. Yeah, I don't remember her being in the other issues after this.
Again, it's hard because I read I read this in like 2 big chunks. So
Me too. Me too. And there's some good action between Rhodey and
oh yeah.
and Tony. Yeah, I like the fight.
But yeah, like Tony's like choking Rhodey, and he's like trying to choke him to death, and Rhodey just gives him a blast full like point blank in the face.
Yes. Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, because I think Iron Man wasn't feeling a lot, but he felt that kick. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not in the face.
It's so salty.
Oh my god! Oh, trying to find that drop. It was so funny because when Lilith was here, we recorded this Salty and Petty live, and
Oh
she
yes.
saw,
Yeah.
she actually got to see how the sausage is made and meat going
Yes.
across the soundboard and finding the buttons and stuff. I'm like, kind of different, huh? When you actually see how the sausage is made, huh?
I love that.
It's so salty.
Yeah.
See, that was Lilith Hellfire page 2.
Page 2. I love it.
Yeah. So Tony and Rhodey are still fighting.
Yeah, Tony does him dirty. He's about to Rhodey's about to blast him, and then he talks. Are you gonna shoot me in the back, Rhodey?
mhm.
Yeah.
I think, well, yeah, but he shoots Rhodey, and then because you pretend to be a man at conventions, Jim, but you're a weak fool like all the others.
Yeah.
Tony basically takes off and but arms something in the Siege Perilous protocol.
Yeah, and again we see Tony like taking that nosedive into villain dialogue. Like,
I know there's like no blackouts. I mean, he's full 24/7 villain now.
yeah.
But that's when Black Widow and U.S. Agent show up, and Scarlet Witch and the others show up.
Yeah.
Mm,
We switched artists again.
yep.
Oh my.
So Sentry takes Black Widow back to the Avengers, and then meanwhile the rest of them are attacked by all these holograms. Defense Command Mordred in operation. Vacate this area immediately, or you will be destroyed.
Mordred. Not Mordred.
They're not the Mystic kids.
Yes. Different Mordred.
Yes. All right. So if that's not enough for you kids, we got 2 more issues this time.
Yes. That's how long this crossover was. It is. Yeah.
It goes on and on and on.
It's the kind of crossover you need to break out the anti-diarrhea medicine for.
Whoa.
Get that Imodium out quick. You need it.
Oh my. All right. So the next one, it continues in Iron Man 324. I swear, sometimes I can just punch in the issue number and this stuff comes right up. Other times it doesn't.
Other times it's you've got to hunt for it.
Marvel Unlimited, how dare you?
It's supposed to make things easier for us.
I don't know if my thumbs are ready for that. All right. I guess I'll just have to. How come I'm punching in Invincible Iron Man and like Spider-Man stuff's coming up too? What the heck?
Spider-Man, really?
Uh-huh. Hold on. I know it's there, Marvel. I was just reading some of this last night. I was reading some today. Come on. Iron Man. There we go. Series. There was this series. It started in 68 or whatever, and we keep scrolling.
Keep on scrolling.
What? Yeah, and again, kids, we're gonna get eventually over time we will cover more enjoyable Iron Man storylines. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Iron Man 324. Jury finds him guilty. Oh yeah, it opens up. Yes, he first page looks like he's breaking Machine Smith's neck, but he's actually repairing him.
Yeah.
As Marianne Rogers is just standing there. Then we go back to the Avengers Mansion and a different artist.
Yes. Another issue with 2 different artists.
Basically, yeah, we're back to Mask telling the Avengers what's going on, and basically tell them everything that happened in the bunker. And
Mhm.
Marianne Rogers is his prisoner.
Luna is missing as well.
Yep. Yeah, because Tuck took her.
Yeah.
Space fan. And that's when Sentry shows up with Black Widow and Moonraker. Oh my god, how funny would that have been if the Avengers were like, Black Widow, we thought you were already here.
Yeah. Weren't you just here? Where'd you go?
Hey, where's Deathcry?
Yeah. Where is Deathcry anyway?
That's the thing. There's no explanation where she went. No, not even anyone saying, "Oh, hey, where's Deathcry?"
Yeah. And Luna's not here, so she can't be watching Luna anymore. That's not a good excuse.
Yeah, or they can't say, "Oh, hey, maybe she's with Luna and they're both missing." No, nothing.
Yeah, no.
Mm,
Yeah. Not even like Deathcry's out looking for Luna. Like nothing like that. Like,
yes,
not even a mention.
nothing. Well, that's like Operation Galactic Storm when, like, after they pick the teams who's going into space, like Black Widow just disappears.
Oh, yes.
We don't see her on the Earth team. She don't on either space team. She's just gone.
Yeah, she's gone completely. Yeah, it's like, well, she's got stuff to do.
I know, because it's weird. Because it was like, Captain America was leading one space team. Monica Rambeau is basically leading the other team. It's
The
like
other space team,
it's
yeah.
like Black Widow could have been leading that Earth team. I mean,
Totally.
although I think they
Yeah.
had Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym. So
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because
yeah,
that
it's a
was that was an
so
Avengers West Coast one, I think. Yeah.
yeah, so basically, well, and they're two founders, so it's like okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
But yeah, it
there's
would have made sense to have her be on that Earth team. Yeah.
exactly. But anyway, Sentry's telling the Avengers how Tony Stark has triggered this temporal weapon.
The gateway underneath the Avengers headquarters that we've been dealing with for the last few issues here.
Where's that satellite thing? Because we're gonna see this later on, where like Rhodey has to go up and like stop that satellite or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has some kind of satellite weapon too. Again, it's so weird. It's all of a sudden we have like a temporal weapon. We have a weapon in space. It's like, okay, what is it? Because it has to do with I guess that's the Star Core connection, but it's like
Yeah.
another thing out of nowhere.
Yeah. There was
But
no
yeah,
lead up to that at all.
we never even
Yeah.
seen Kang mention it. No.
Mm-hmm. It's just all of a sudden, well, we need to have an excuse to have somebody go up to space and do something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's have a satellite up there then. All right. That works.
And it's so weird. Like Moonraker thinks it's supposedly Mantis's father saying, "Oh, swordsman, it's so weird to see your likeness here."
Yeah. Yeah, it's so appropriate.
Yeah, because they talk. It's like Kang. Mantis is with Kang. Mantis and Kang together.
Yeah, and you would have thought because of that comment, like the swordsman would have had more of a vital role to play in the rest of the story,
Mm-hmm.
but no.
And yeah, we basically see. Yeah, Scarlet Witch is calling them and telling them about trying to break in the Force Works' sub basement and disarm Tony Stark's stuff.
Yeah, she tells him that he murdered Amanda Chaney.
Oh yes, their publicity manager. Yeah, that's who she was.
Yeah.
And they're telling her about Jan's conditions, like the same. But yeah, they're talking about having Sentry teleport some of them to Stark's Arctic bunker.
Mm-hmm. Take the fight to the bastard. And then we switch artists again.
I think it's back to the first artist. Yeah.
Back to as Tony's working on Machine Smith.
Because Marianne's basically trying to get through to Tony as he's fixing Machine Smith, and he's like, "I can never confess. There was no one to turn to all these years, knowing How it would go, where the long slow fall into the dark would take me. Now he's saying he knew for years.
Yeah, all these years knowing how it would go. Really? Ugh.
But it's like, wasn't he blacking out to like a month or two ago, and he's like he had no idea what was going on. Now it's like, oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
known for years.
all these years I've known that this would happen. Really, Tony? Ugh, barf.
He broke me. He broke me from the very. He literally says he broke me. He broke me from the very beginning.
Really? Ugh. Yeah, and they first met in what, Avengers number 7 or something. So
8, yeah, the one we cover. Yeah, Avengers 8.
yes,
Yeah,
so he broke you from the Avengers number 8. Like that was the very beginning.
I knew that Spider-Man robot was coming. I know it. And Marion's like, who do you mean, Kang? That's when the perimeter alarm goes off because Sentry, Vision, Moonraker, and Crystal show up.
Hmm.
And again, they can't like break in the Stark's bunker. I'm like, couldn't Sentry have teleported them in the bunker into the bunker?
Yeah,
I'm not sure how accurate Sentry's powers are. So can he not like
maybe he can't like pinpoint it that
yeah,
exactly.
maybe he's only good for up to like a few feet or a few yards or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't want to like teleport them into a wall or something like that.
Or Tony. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's like the Nightcrawler thing. He can't teleport into somewhere he hasn't seen before or something.
Maybe, yeah. And maybe it might have to do with that weapon of his too,
Oh yeah, maybe so he's got a
the
temporal
staff.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tony might have. Yeah, because Vision tries to phase through the lock and it shocks him.
yeah.
And then yeah, Tony's like, he's like, I've had you again. He's like, I thought you knew me better than that, Vision. I've had years to prepare countermeasures against your skills. Again, years.
Hmm. He's thought this through, folks. Yeah.
Mhm. Even though I don't think we saw this Arctic bunker until like the very beginning of this crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never even been mentioned before the crossing.
And like basically like a huge tank pops up out of the snow.
Yeah, the bunker becomes this massive rolling juggernaut of destruction with all these cannons and guns coming out of it.
Yeah, and Crystal tries to make herself a target by increasing the heat around her, so all the heat seekers come for her. Mm. And then yeah, Sentry's ripping into this thing.
Rips a hole in it with his staff. That part was cool. I liked that.
Mhm. I was gonna say with some of these space fandoms, don't space fandoms actually like do they take the body of the person they're replacing? I'm trying to remember because I know they shunt the person into limbo, but I can't remember if they actually take their bodies because
Like possess them.
yeah, there was like a spectacular Spider-Man story where like the space fandom like took the place like She-Hulk and Spider-Man and a few others, and it was just like I
Yeah,
think he had their powers when he was like took their place.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh god, if only Tony had been a space fan.
Yeah, if only, or a scroll. That
Mm,
would have made it so much better.
yeah.
And during Secret Invasion, they had they had their chance to do that. They could be like, yeah, well, that Tony that during the crossing, yeah, that was a scroll the whole time.
Again, it was just the more just manipulating. I thought during Secret Invasion they were going to use that moment to say it was the scroll Hank Pym who hit Jan, but no,
Oh yeah, no,
because the rest of it, I guess I don't know. I guess that would have been too much character development. They could have tossed out the window because
mhm,
then
yeah,
the whole like if it had been a scroll, then like the whole thing with the suicide and everything would have been the scroll
yeah,
too and everything. And
yeah. No, I like the way that they kept it with Hank's
yeah,
character development intact. That's important.
we'll have to cover that story because it's so weird. Because it's like everyone. I mean, I joke about it too, but it's just like no one lets Hank Pym forget that moment, that one panel. But it's like there are other characters who've been that horrible too,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
and they kind of get a pass.
Hmm. Yeah, we should definitely cover that story. I like that.
Yeah, Marianne's trying to get through to Tony, but even with her power, she can't. And then she basically telepathically tells the Avengers, like, you got to get out of here.
Mm,
Uh,
this is going sideways.
and again, we're dropping the little Easter egg here, kids. There was a time when he was younger that he was free of the taint. The evil made parts of him. Go tell the Avengers.
Yeah, this is where it starts, folks.
Mm-hmm.
The little nuggets are being left.
So they teleport back to the Avengers, and Vision's been injured.
Another artist change.
Exactly, and then they're telling the Avengers what happened. So, but they're like, "Hey, wait, where's Moonraker?"
Oops! Somehow he didn't make it back.
So basically, Kang Immortus and the Space Phantoms have captured the other Space Phantom and are about to torture him.
Essentially, yeah.
Are any Avengers around? Nah, let's just torture him anyway then.
Yeah. What the hell?
All right, kids. So one more. I know we're going long, but one more this episode. ForceWorks 20.
Yes, this has the remaining members of ForceWorks against Virgil.
Oh yeah. Where's Russell? I was about to say, didn't he used to work for the $1 Million Man during the WWE day, WWF days?
Virgil, yeah. That sounds right.
That's right, kids. I used to watch in the late 80s, early 90s. All right, so ForceWorks number 20. ForceWorks headquarters, alive and deadly. That's some good art of the Scarlet Witch though on the cover.
Yes. Yeah, and like I said in the previous episode, this is my favorite Scarlet Witch costume.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the ForceWorks costume a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, she's not too like bloated, and she's not like. I mean, for the 90s, her chest is pretty tame. So it's
she does have a toothpick waist though. It looks like
yes.
that waist is about as.
Oh yeah, and she is bending at a weird angle at the waist. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it's a good one.
Yeah, that's yes, that is that weird 90s art.
Booty looks good all the time.
Although I think that was Cybermancer.
Yes. Large and in charge.
Oh, I should have hit it for the that Wasp cover.
Those boobs scare me.
That will be in the next appearance of the Wasp. That will be really those boobs scare me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then we got we get a little bit of Cybermancer here with some weird big hologram of Tony Stark.
Yes. Yeah, Virgil. I like how he programmed Virgil to have his face. And I'm sure it's his voice too, like some version of Tony's voice.
I mean, that hologram's looking jacked, but again, it's a hologram. Tony Stark can however he wants.
Okay, now we see how you see yourself, Tony. Okay, I get it now.
But yeah, Cybermancer has complete control of the building from that console, she's saying. So basically, ForceWorks have to like fight their way through their own headquarters.
And through these solid light hologram duplicates.
Yeah, like you see ones in Iron Man armor and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spider-Woman and Rhodey go outside to try to get in from a weird angle, I guess.
Yeah, we're down to a bare bones team here of Scarlet Witch, War Machine, U.S. Agent, Spider-Woman, and Fisher Todd.
It's so weird because like Spider-Woman's like, why would Tony Stark leave like this big like hole in the defenses? And Rhodey's like, oh, maybe they're still part of him, hoping we stop him and stuff.
Maybe.
In the beginning, I might have said that. But I don't know now.
Yeah.
Oh, this shot is Cybermancer. Okay, now I can hit the
Those boobs scare me.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely.
Mm,
Oh, Susie Endo.
watch out, it's Cybermancer. But yes, of course, eventually they get through, and Spider-Woman decks Cybermancer.
I like that part. Part was cool. The little
Mhm.
confrontation at the end was good.
And Rhodey still can't believe Stark's behind all this.
You would have thought of all of the people that Rhodey would be the least surprised of all this stuff happening.
Oh yeah, especially
Because him and Tony had this massive falling out, like
Oh,
again,
yeah.
just before all this stuff happened.
After Tony basically faked his death, and
Yeah.
after
And
after Iron Man 300, where he's basically like, "You used us," yeah.
yeah. So, out of all the people in this assemblage, I would imagine that Rhodey would be like, "Yeah, I saw this coming a mile away, and I tried to tell you guys, I tried to tell you guys that he was no good, and you wouldn't listen. And now look what happened. 3 people are dead, and we've got this time corridor in the Avengers basement, and this giant killer satellite. Like, I tried to tell you guys, and you didn't listen to me."
But basically, most of Force Works leaves the headquarters at the end. They say they leave Fisher and Rachel behind. I'm like, how do you know that place still doesn't have more booby traps? It's
Yeah, I wouldn't call that place safe. I would
No.
take them to some like Avengers safe house or something.
Hell, yeah, I know. Just
Anywhere other than that crazy killer
Yeah.
headquarters.
So the rest of them leave, and then it says Rhodey's going up to take out that Star Core satellite. So,
Yep.
All right, kids. Have you had enough punishment for 1 week? That was the
Yeah.
final mission this week.
Yeah, what'd you think of that? The crossing continues, the crapping.
Ah. So, kids, on a scale of from 10 to what do you give it, kids?
Yes, definitely send in your thoughts on the crossing, even if you like
Yes.
it. Even if you like it and want to sing its virtues to us, we'll listen.
Exactly. All right, Justin. So, any final thoughts on this before we wrap it up?
No.
Oh, just wait though. Next episode will be the conclusion.
Yes. I'll save my final thoughts for the conclusion. Yeah.
That's fine. All right, kids. So yes. So please send us your thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. Join the Patreon.
Join me in the Patreon
Elite.
Elite. That's right. You get all the perks, all the good stuff, all the bonus episodes, this, that, or the other.
You're about in this summer. You're going to experience the summer of hate as Lilith and I cover all of Heroes Reborn.
Oh man.
4 months, May, June, July, and August. Yes, we're going to every month we're going to take one of the Heroes Reborn series, and I'm going to review it with a very drunk Lilith Hellfire. That's why it has to be Patreon, because the language is going to be off the scale.
As it should be. I mean, Lilith always talks about me doing the Lord's work with covering some of the comics that I do, but that one, even I won't touch Heroes Reborn. Like,
Even a good Captain America story. She's not a big fan of Captain America. Even a good story. Can you imagine when we cover the Heroes Reborn Captain America?
God. That's going to be hysterical. That's well worth the price of admission.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yes, find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right. Justin, Lilith calls you the good babysitter, unlike Ray and Dave, who join me at the end of every month on Ultimate Spider-Cast. You join me here every week and at the end of the month on We Are the Night,
the Batman podcast.
To talk all things Nightfall and Azrael. But you also podcast with a certain Kentucky native. Where can we hear all of those?
Me and my lovely pal Russell can also be found on Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is. We talk about everything to do with the Hulk twice a month. And on Predator and Prey, a Yaucha podcast, we're joined by our good pal, the High Priest of Khonshu, Ray, and discuss everything to do with the Predator in films, comics, toys, and more. And as I discussed before, we're having our last episode rather, for Tomes of Evil, a comic book supervillain podcast, at least for the foreseeable future. I think it'll come back later on. But we're having special guest writer Jed McKay on for our last issue. So I'm very excited about that.
Yay.
Yay. My favorite biscuit.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Superior puss.
Cybermancer.
Oh my. A mantis. It's mantis. You reckon like 30 years of continuity.
Superior
Yeah.
puss.
That is superior.
Uh,
Absolutely.
temporal wrecking puss. Thank you for joining us, kids. Again, we wrap this whole damn mess up next episode.
Yes. Come see how it all ends. If you've never read it before, then ooh, you're in for a doozy.
Trust me, kids, in May can only go up from here.
That's right.
So remind me next time. Yes, we'll tell you what's coming in May. Because yes, and trust me, it's getting better. Don't worry.
Yes, it is getting better.
All right. And again, kids, join us next time. Remember, keep your eye on your friends. Who knows who's a Manchurian candidate?